All right, y'all, what up? All right, Tory Lanez legal team did a press conference requesting that Tory Lanez be pardoned immediately. You know, shout out to Tory Lanez. You know, what recently happened. He got hit up about 13 times. You know what I mean? And pretty much they say in the evidence that they got and the account that they got when this whole thing went down, you know, basically says that he didn't do it. All right. So on the brief, it says the legal team is seeking justice for Tory Lanez, who is currently serving a 10-year sentence in the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. All right. A press conference was held on Wednesday in which multiple people stated Lanez, born Daystar Peterson, never fired the weapon. Okay. Now let's take into account if this was an eyewitness where a black man was assaulted, or eyewitness on any other type of situation. Eyewitnesses accounts supposed to be, damn near. Eyewitness accounts supposed to be damn near gold. And this is what the the justice system, the way they see it. All right, I'm not making this up. This is just basically the way they see it. All right. Now, Mr. Peterson was never given a fair trial. They said. All right, free from bias. All right, that's a legal term, free from bias. All right, so Lanez is currently serving a 10-year sentence for the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, born Megan Pete. The legal team alleges she lied about what happened the night she was shot. All right, it says now they called him an R&B singer. I don't know why they're calling him an R&B singer. Nope. Why they calling him an R&B singer? I mean, maybe he does sing. I'm sorry, he actually does sing, but I think he's more known to be a rapper than a singer. I could be wrong. Previous coverage: Tory Lanez sentence, Megan Thee Stallion shoot. Okay, so Mr. Peterson was never given a fair trial, free from bias, political interference, and media-driven pressure, said Gianno Caldwell, who has been working to get justice for the Grammy-nominated singer and rapper. There they go. So the news conference was held by the United the People. Must be a typo there. The news conference was held by United the People. Okay? Its website describes as a non-profit organization which a team of lawyers and activists who fight for social justice and assist community in any way they can. Shout out to them. Alright? Alright? Now, they're hoping the new evidence will be released and will have to return to the prison. You know what I mean? So, they call on the California governor, Gavin Newsom, to step in so Lanez can return home. Based off this evidence, you know what I'm saying? Lanez continues to recover after being stabbed in prison. His health update, the briefing comes days after Lanez was stabbed multiple times by a convicted killer at a California prison. In a statement posted to the 11.4 million Instagram followers, he suffered wounds to his back, torso, the back of his head, and the left side of his face. Crazy. 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 Shout out to Tory Lanez, man. We wish him a speedy recovery. And most of all, we wish him back on the streets. Crazy situation, man. Like, we know many people believe she lied. Okay? Many people believe she lied. You got to count witnesses, account witness statements saying, leaning in that direction. But for some reason, Tory Lanez, shout out to him for even going through that process like that far, really knowing that he didn't do, all he could do was fight. And they're saying that the industry, all right, when this whole incident went down, you had some industry execs that kind of interfered in the situation and got their mittens, so to speak, in the case. All right, and usually, for what they're saying, that's usually illegal. You know what I mean? They have there's no family relation. They have nothing to do with that case. They're pretty much a stranger in that situation. So to have them, the record execs feeling that they own the artist, because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? They own that artist. That's their artist. That's their moneymaker. So they interfered with the case, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. We gotta wait for Gavin Newsom. That's the tricky part right there. You know what I mean? Waiting for him, the Democratic governor of California. A lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people think he's doing a bad job. I mean, it is what it is. But hopefully he'll see the evidence in this case and immediately grant the pardon. He should have never been down anyway. All right? He should have never been down in the situation. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and link this to his female relationships. All right? Because anytime you're dealing with multiple women at a time, especially in close proximity, all right? They was all hanging out together. You know what I mean? They were all hanging out together, and according to, some of their own words and some of the stories that we've been hearing, he was knocking both of them down. You know what I mean? Her and her friend. There was some type of jealousy in that situation, and things happened the way they happened. This is why we gotta tell young men, all right, these relationships, they're only gonna go so far. All right, monogamy is an illusion. That's one. Monogamy is an illusion. Okay? Monogamy is an illusion, and all relationships are time sensitive. All relationships are time sensitive. There's not too many things on this earth, right, that we can use the word all in, especially when it comes to people. Right? Especially when it comes to people. Nope. There's not too many times we can use the word all. But in this context, all relationships are time sensitive. Period. Let me know what y'all think about this Tory Lanez situation. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay out of those relationships. They're an illusion. Get that bag. Show value. Create your own options.